It's a people, it's a community, it's a life, it's a heart, it's a spirit.
Parents of gay children say, I want my son, my gay son, to have the same opportunity to come to me and say, hey, Dad, I'm getting married, as my non-gay son or my non-gay daughter.
The heck would you want a picture of a tattoo of $1,000 on your penis for?
You might just need to satisfy yourself sexually alone at that point.
Do I regret it? Not one bit. Did I think that I would actually take it the next step and do it again?
And what goes into their life, how they handle it. There are 12 houses, and each one of those houses has a particular function.
Look into yourself, think about it, and just be whoever it is that speaks to you.
Hello and welcome to Talking About. Tonight I have a very, very special guest. My name is Jon Griffith, and I have a very talented young writer with me today, Ebony Dawn. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Well, as I said, you're a writer, and we're talking about your book of short stories, yes. Moments.
Yes, I'm very excited about them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read all but maybe the last 10 pages. I've been just breezing through it because it's such an interesting read, and yeah, it grabs hold of the imagination and takes you to gives you some very visual images.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah.
So again, it's a book of short stories, and just what brought you to the short story form?
Well, I've always liked to write, and life's experiences. In my quiet moments, I think a lot, and so therefore I jot down what different little things that I think about and experiences and the people I meet, and I put them all together.
Okay. Well, the title Moments.
Yes.
Being a book of short stories, and from what I've read, it captures your main protagonists seem to be women.
Yes, well, of course.
By what you know.
Yes, that's it.
And from the reader's perspective, at pivotal moments in their life. Yes.
It's something in there for everybody. People can relate, well, as far as I can see.
Right, and even from a male perspective.
Little slices of life.
Yes. But the thing that grasped my attention as the through line, I suppose, at least from the reader's perspective, was tying into the title, Moments, just these key points where your characters seem to be on the cusp of a big change in their life.
Yes. Yes. It takes different facets, and it brings it to fore. We all go through emotional problems, or happy, whatever. It doesn't matter. And each one makes a moment, you know, memorable. Yeah.
So, I mean, so many different points of view, so many different types of people that you bring to life in the book. Where do they come from within you?
Well, most of them do come within me, but people I've met, experiences, and the things that have happened that bring forth different emotions. We all have experienced happiness. We've all experienced joy, anger,
sadness,
and
pain.
Yeah, and different things bring these emotions about. So different stories for different things.
And what do you find sparks the imagination, that you take the concept or the image or the person and you put it to pen?
You know, I always liked people, characters, and when I see different people and I can imagine a certain thing. Sometimes when you talk to people, you like a different personality, or maybe you might not like a different personality, but they all have something to offer. I've always found people very, very interesting. So that's where I get it.
And just the different situations?
Different situations, yes.
And
things that I've experienced myself. I mean, we all go through different emotional trauma, or maybe not trauma, but whatever.
Right, feelings, experiences, just events that, whether it even just sparks
and the emotion is the same. Different circumstances that bring on certain emotions, and the emotion comes out the same. Maybe something different happened or whatever, but people can understand through emotion.
Right.
They know what they're feeling.
Right. I mean, everybody shares certain personality traits and characteristics, and even certain events in their life. It's the combination at any given moment that makes the situation feel or be unique.
That's right. Moments is very universal. That's what I think.
Okay. And how long were you working on this particular book?
Oh my goodness. The stories I've had for many, many years. And I decided to take my stories and put them together. And that's how this came about.
Okay. Are there any particular characters that you favor from the book? Is there somebody within the book that say, I really like this person. I want to take this person even further than you've already taken?
Oh yeah, a couple of them. I kind of like. Let me see. Well, I know the one with Challenge Lost, where the mother is challenged by a young man pursuing her daughter.
Yes.
Did you read that one?
Yes, I did.
Well, that is very dear to me because a similar circumstance happened to me with my daughter and a young man. So that I kind of could let that grow. Even in Grief Belongs to Yesterday, the heroine in that one, we could see what happens to her after the funeral, and to see, to tell you the truth, most of my people, I can just go on and on. These are moments out of their life, but I think I'd be interested to know what happened after.
Right, and
after the moment.
There was more than one occasion where I read the words at the end to a particular story, and I said, no, this can go here, this can go here, this can go here. She can have a great adventure. She could have a great tragedy. She could, but it's a defining moment in that person's life.
With Mona, when she went into the discotheque.
Okay, well, give sort of a brief synopsis of that story.
Okay, well, she's recently divorced, and let me see which one it is.
It's early in
Beyond the Dream. Yeah. She's divorced, and she's now finding herself in a situation that nobody likes to be in, alone, and wondering what's going on. So she just musters up enough courage to say, well, I'm just not going to just sit here like this forever. And she decides she's going out. And this is just that decision that she made the night that she decided to go out. And it tells how she's feeling, what she's seeing, the whole new scene that she has to put herself into. And it ends where she just goes into the discotheque.
Right, and I think that's probably my favorite story.
Really?
I think so, just because it's somebody just deciding to grab hold of life.
Yes.
Whatever, come what may.
Yes.
And I think I've been at that point more than once in my life.
Right.
Where it's either or get off the pot, and you just have to go for it sometimes.
Make that decision and go for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I kind of like her. I want to know exactly what's going to happen to her afterwards. So I can think of nice things. Or
is there a great life romance? Is there a mystery? Is there an adventure? A little bit of both. Little of this,
question
little of that.
there. Yeah.
So I mean, that's what really grabbed hold of me.
Oh, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad you like that one. I kind of like that one too.
So how long have you been writing?
It seems forever, all my life. I've always written. I remember as a child, I would write down my thoughts. And later on,
in journal form?
Sometimes in journal form, but a lot of times if something happened or if I were particularly happy about something or sad about something, I don't know where I got this from, but I would write down what I was feeling. And I would go as far as to seal the envelope. I would put it into an envelope, seal it up. Then days later, maybe even a week or so, I would open it up to see what I was feeling then and see how I feel afterwards, reading it. I don't know. I used to do that a lot.
Okay, that's cheaper than therapy.
About my oh, hey. And I was a little girl, too, so I kind of grabbed hold of something that was good for me. Yeah, yeah.
So that probably got you through
it really did
in life.
Yeah, I talked to myself a lot.
Did you answer?
Inside, yes.
Okay, that's the safe way.
Yeah.
So throughout your, are you exclusively writing right now?
Well, I'm retired,
okay.
So I am exclusively writing, and I'm working on a novel that I'm a little excited about. Well, a lot excited. It's just, it comes from, say, 1945 all the way to 1997, and it centers on a family, women.
Okay, so it's, again, strong female protagonist.
Yes, it's 3 sisters it starts out, but then in order to find out how they got to be, we went back to the mother, and the mother started in 45 and how she got these children, and I'm just thrilled.
So is there a working title?
Or
too soon to say?
You know, I have on my computer sisters, but then it's turning out to be Irma. That's the mother. So I guess I'll say Irma for now.
Okay. So well, yeah, I was just going to keep an eye on your name, because any information about your writings can be found by Googling you.
Yeah.
Which I immediately came up with the information on Moments just through a simple Google search on Ebony Dawn.
Yes.
So any of the viewers can find more information about you like that. It'll take them to your MySpace page, take them to your publisher's page.
Right.
So I mean, there's a lot of, and there were even some on your MySpace page. You have some writing samples there, and I caught a glimpse of a little bit of journaling there. Also, I didn't go too in depth on there. Is it mostly story writing, or is it a little more personal on your MySpace page?
Well, I think it's mostly the story writing, but I have to my credit 2 plays that I've written, and they, again, back, years ago.
Okay.
And I have children's stories. I have 3.
Okay.
On the same character. It's Little Phoebe.
Little Phoebe. So
and if you could see there, that's my artwork. I'm not an artist.
Okay.
But I drew Phoebe because I know Phoebe. Phoebe was a real bird.
Oh, really?
Yes, she was. I bought her for my children.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and just that's quite a few different genres of writing.
Well,
that you've covered.
It's through the years. I've always, like I said, written, and it strikes me. Like I said, I've had these short stories for many, many years, and I just decided, well, hey, why don't I put them together
and see what happens?
Yeah.
So, well, you made at least one fan.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Are there different ways of approaching different types of writing, from playwriting to writing with an eye toward children or young people? Are there different ways that you come at it?
Well, you know, one of the stories in Moments is an exercise that I did before I wrote my plays. I had to strengthen my dialogue. So, yeah, I have to do certain things, maybe different, when I do different types of writing. My poetry, I think a lot and stare out of my window. And the children's stories, I just, well, like I said, the children's story is based on a real
bird.
Character, bird. And she was really funny. She was a funny bird. So, yeah,
so
just different things.
Different things, and from the way you're presenting it, it comes from different places within you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it comes from a more whimsical place, it comes from a more solitary place, or it comes from a more mentally focused place, depending on what you're doing. What do you find the most challenging?
You know, to tell you the truth, what I'm working on right now, my Irma, because I think am basically a short story writer.
Okay.
And I'm working on a novel, which is, it's a lot different, and it takes more out of you, because I have to put so much more into it. With my short stories, maybe I'm just boop, boop, like that, because I write and I say, oh, that's a story, and I'm finished. But with my novel, I find that I have to really search and to make the characters real.
Okay.
Because they do all become very real to me.
Do they, at any time, take a turn that you don't expect as the writer?
You know, I recently had an experience. I've added people and I've made them grow. Yes, that is true. I've had that happen.
So, yeah, in just becoming so real that...
Yes, that I couldn't let them go. They were not necessarily a feature, you know, major character, but they were so intriguing to me, or so necessary, that I enhanced and I brought them more.
Took on a life of their own.
They certainly do. Lots of times that happens.
When you're done with a story, and all is said and done, do you experience almost a period of loss for the character? Because I know in my own art where if I get so close and wrapped up into something, it becomes so close to me, and then when or if I declare it complete or finished and I walk away from it, I miss it.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. I miss the dealings. You know, it's like over, so now what? You know, am I going to have to make a new friend? You know, can I go back? Yeah, it is a sense of loss, but happy. Happy, because whenever I finish a story, it's such a relief. You know, it's like, I've done it. Yeah.
So you gave life, you gave life again to another character, and you can always say this person is going to do this now, and you can always pick up the pen again.
Yeah.
And take that person in a new direction.
And I think that's what I like about this, because most of my people, I can go back, because they go on. It's not over for them. The particular story is maybe over, but they have a life of their own.
Just like in life,
yes.
There, you go through different doors and you have different chapters, and you might at certain points in your life have a sense of closure, but there's always the next.
But there's something else, yeah.
If you're lucky.
Because they're real.
Yes.
They become very real to me.
Do certain writers give you inspiration?
Well, I'll tell you, when I wrote my plays, I have a favorite playwright who is Neil Simon.
Okay.
Okay. And then for my stories, I tend to like romance novels, and Kathleen was one of my favorites, and Rosemary Rogers, the real romantic stories. Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Where would you like to see all of this end up? Is this going to be a 3-story feature film at some point? Pick your favorite 3 stories.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
And have it turned into an anthology, or?
Wouldn't that be wonderful if I could get that on film? Wow, that would be great. Yeah, I could see that.
Is there a character that stands out that you would seem most appropriate for a filmed adaptation?
From Moments.
From Moments. That's what we're primarily talking about.
Yeah, so. Let's see.
Because I do. It's a very visual style of writing, because I could see through the words and just have the images in my mind. So I can visualize, as the reader, the words and the type goes away and the images take over.
So maybe I could see Isaac and Verna.
Who are?
Being from Today I'm Singing the Blues. That's a story where a marriage, of course, is breaking up again, and she has to adjust herself to the reality of it. And we see it just as it's happening. So there we come again with all the emotions that she's feeling. And what I could see her being on film.
Okay.
I could see her.
For the young writer.
Okay.
What advice might you give on writing?
Well, the basic, write what you know, and just explore people. If you're writing about people, things around you, be very aware of what's going on around you, and embrace it. If you're going to write, just write what you feel.
Okay. I mean, I see so many characters in life.
Mm-hmm.
And I sit on the train, and I see somebody who looks somewhat interesting sitting across me,
mm-hmm.
and this person has a story.
Everybody has a story.
Right. And okay, I can see the person who looks a little sad one day.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine a tragedy leading up to this point, and perhaps with an eye toward the future,
right.
a triumph over the tragedy, or something. Just letting your imagination go.
Yes.
Can be such a release.
I have seen strangers on a train, on a bus, and I've made up stories about them myself. I just will see them, and I'll just pick out, like I said, I like characters, and I just make up maybe a moment or what's going on with them at that moment. And I had a girlfriend, well, she's still my girlfriend. We used to ride together, going back and forth to work, so you could tell, years ago. And I would just say things to her. I would say, oh, well, he's saying, oh boy, one time we saw this man coming from the store with diapers or whatever, and I said, boy, this woman makes me buy diapers, and she's home all day, and she would crack up. She would say, well, tell me about his life, or tell me about her life. She would tell me to make up stories about people.
Okay.
So, yeah, I do that.
So do you think that's just a certain sense of empathy, creativity, or maybe a little psychic twinkle, or a little
something that sounds like it? Yeah.
Do you have a favorite type of writing between the work designed toward the children, the short story form, the long novel form, or the play form?
My favorite is short stories.
Okay.
My favorite, but right now
you're focused on the novel.
On this novel, and I think when I complete this, I'm going to be so happy. that might be my favorite. But right now, short stories.
Well, I mean, you're rising to the challenge.
Yes,
So,
it is a challenge too. But it's fun. It's good.
At the end of the day, worth it.
Yes. When I have a good day, I really have a good day. Yeah.
The website is www.bookstandpublishing.com, and if you type in Moments or Ebony Dawn on that webpage, it'll bring to information about you, or you could do www.bookstandpublishing.com/m/Ebony Dawn and the number 8. And that'll bring up the information directly.
Yes.
But if you just did, again, a Google search, Ebony Dawn or Moments will bring more information.
Yes.
And through the Bookstand Publishing website, will bring to proper information as well. And you are on MySpace also.
Yes.
So you are very much, not just on the written page, you are
I'm
on
all
the
over
digital
the place.
page.
Yes.
So
thanks to my daughter. She's working with me diligently. Yes, she is.
Okay, and yes, I had a preliminary conversation with her as well.
Yes.
A very nice young lady.
Thank you.
Okay, with we're almost to the end of our first half hour together, and you're going to be joining me in the future for another half hour.
Yes.
Where we're going to be discussing some different things. On writing specifically, of your works, what would you like people to walk away most with?
I guess a sense of belonging. Now, that might sound a little strange, but human, to know that you're not alone and there's understanding out there for no matter what.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and a little happiness. Some of the stories may be a little funny or whatever. But just knowing that there's a shared life here. Yes.
So again, the book is Moments. Your pen name, Ebony Dawn. Your given name is Pat Ebron.
Yeah, my given name is Pat Ebron.
Ebron, my bad.
But no,
Ebron.
Everybody does that.
So, okay, bookstandpublishing.com, and as soon as I can update my website, www.talkingabout.info, I'll have a direct link to your page as well. You are watching Talking About. My name is Jon Griffith for Ebony Dawn. Thank you for joining us.